All right. So, when I was reading the other book, I was home by myself, and all of a sudden everybody came home. So, I had to stop the other video and do this one. So, I'm gonna go ahead and keep reading. We just read The Princess and the Bowling Ball. I was gonna read The Really Ugly Duckling, but I think I'm gonna pass that one. And let's see. And what you're also hearing is the dog next door barking. Oh, here we go. Jack Bean's Problem. What does that story sound like? Jack Bean's Problem. Think about it. Jack Bean. Jack and the Beanstalk. But remember, it's a twist, okay? Here we go. Jack Bean's Problem. Forget that hen. Now it's time for the best story in the whole book. My story. Because once upon a time, I traded our last cow for 3 magic beans. And hey, Giant, what are you doing down here? You're wrecking my whole story. I don't like that story, said the Giant. You always trick me. That's the best part, said Jack. Fee-fi-fo-fory. I have made my own story. Great rhyme, Giant. And I'm sure your story is just as good. But there's no room for it. So why don't you climb back up the beanstalk? I'll be up in a few minutes to steal your gold and your heart. That's what that's the way it looks. I'm trying to read it as best as I can with attitude. I'll grind your bones to make my bread. I knew you'd understand. And there's another little thing that's been bugging me. Could you please stop talking in uppercase letters? It really messes up the pages. I will read my story now, said the Giant. And he did. See, he's asking to stop talking in uppercase. Because uppercase is yelling. Giant story. The end of the evil stepmother said, I'll huff and snuff and give you 3 wishes. The beast changed into 7 dwarfs. Happily ever after, for a spell has been cast by a wicked witch once upon a time. That's your story, said Jack? You've got to be kidding. That's not a fairly stupid tale. That's an incredibly stupid tale. That's an unbelievably stupid tale. That is the most stupid tale I have ever... Ah! The Giant grabbed Jack and dragged him to the next page. Jack is going to get himself into trouble. He's got a smart mouth. Jack's story. Once upon a time, there was a giant. The giant squeezed Jack and said, Tell me a better story or I will grind your bones to make my bread. And when your story is finished, I will grind your bones to make my bread anyhow. Ho, 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 ho. The giant laughed, an ugly laugh. Jack thought, he'll kill me if I do. He'll kill me if I don't. There's only one way to get out of this. Jack cleared his throat and began his story. Once upon a time, there was a giant. The giant squeezed Jack and said, Tell me a better story or I'll grind your bones to make my bread. And when your story is finished, I'll grind your bones to make my bread. Ho, ho, ho. The giant laughed an ugly laugh. Jack thought, he'll kill me if I do it. He'll kill me if I don't. There's only one way out of this. Jack cleared his throat and then began his story. Once upon a time, there was a giant. The giant squeezed Jack. Tell me a story. There. He's getting smaller and smaller. See the print? He's going smaller and smaller and smaller. He keeps repeating his story over and over again. That was the end of that one. Alright, here's one. Cinder Rumpelstiltskin, or the girl who really blew it. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful girl named Cinderella who lived with her wicked stepmother and 2 ugly stepsisters. These relatives were not only wicked and ugly, they also made Cinderella clean the house every day. One day, the local prince announced that he was holding a fabulous ball at his castle. Everyone was invited. The stepmother and stepsisters got all dressed up to go, but as usual, they made Cinderella clean the house, so she didn't have time to get ready. After the stepmother and stepsisters left for the ball, Cinderella sat down and began to cry. Just then, a little man appeared. Please don't cry, he says. I can help you spin straw into gold. I don't think that will do me much good, said Cinderella. I need a fancy dress, straw slippers, and a coach. Would you like me to try to guess my name, said the clever little man. Cinderella looked at him. No, not really. Come on, do you think it's like Chester? If you don't have a dress, it doesn't really matter. Oh, just guess a name, any name. I'm not supposed to talk to strangers, said Cinderella. Then she closed the door and left the little man standing outside screaming, Rumpelstiltskin! 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 When the stepmother and stepsister got home from the ball, Cinderella told them about the strange little man. They still made her clean the house, and meaner still, they changed her name to Cinder Rumpelstiltskin. The end. An odd story for these odd times. Should I do one more? It's like, these are weird stories. They're funny. Oh, you know this story. Okay. Alright, a twist on this story. The tortoise and the hare. Once upon a time, there was a tortoise who was very slow, but very dependable. He would always get where he set out to go. It just took him longer than most people. One day, Rabbit saw a tortoise walking slowly but surely down the road and said, Tortoise, you are so slow, I could probably grow hair faster than you run. Oh yeah? Tortoise said slowly. Yeah, said Rabbit. So they decided to race. On the day of the big race, Tortoise and Rabbit lined up at the starting line. Owl said, on your mark, get set, grow. Tortoise started to run. Rabbit started to grow his hair. Tortoise ran, Rabbit grew 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 his hair. Tortoise is still running. Rabbit is still growing his hair. Not the end. These are bizarre. These are just bizarre. Alright, should we do the Stinky Cheese Man and we'll call it a day, okay? Oh, that's a long one. Oh, that's a really long one. That might not be worth it. Let's see. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it for today on that one. Yeah, those were odd, weren't they? Were they odd? They were odd. All right, I got one more, and I'll start that one. Actually I have two more. So I'll start those in a minute. Okay. All right. I'll be right back.